Hey everyone, so I tried to do this, but my fingers always get in the way when I do these types of videos for this site. It's just more comfortable to do them this way. I wanted to do one more quick estate video for you. For those of you who are thinking about hiring me to be able to help clean out mom's estate, that's one of the other business units that I have. So I wanted to share with you a little victory for a family that came across this week as well too. They had hired me to clean out the estate a year ago. The client was a young lady who passed away in her mid-90s, and she was a skilled professional here in town for a long time and liked to buy nice things. Back in the day, back in the 50s and 60s and 70s, she made good coin from an income perspective. And when she went out to buy things, she was not buying things from the outlet stores. She was buying things from Macy's and all of the higher end retailers at the time. So she was buying nicer things. Now, some of her stuff got chipped over the years and stuff like that. So chips terrorize the value of porcelain items. They just do. It just does. Nobody wants chipped porcelain. They just don't. So that really impacts those kinds of values. So, but in her house, her whole house of stuff, room by room by room, there was nice stuff in each room. And so when I stepped into the house, I recognized that, hey, there's some good stuff in this house. We can have an estate sale. We could have possibly an auction. We could possibly have all kinds of different things. However, what I'm thinking that we should do, because we needed to get the house cleaned out for a closing date, so there was a tick, tick, tick on it. There's time frames with all of this stuff. And I said, what we probably should do is have take the good stuff out, send it to consignment. And so I had the cast and crew from Holland Consignments come in, Lawrence Holland and his wife, Andrea, and they came in one evening and they were going through all the drawers and everything in that house. And they had a pile of stuff, and it just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And Lawrence was one, I really don't want to go there, Brian. I really don't want to do this business anymore. I really want to go and just, it's not something I really want to be doing. But he came out anyway. And then when he was there, he's like, geez, this is good stuff. I said, yeah, I told you it was good stuff. And so he said he had a great big pile. And I then hauled that pile over to Holland Consignments on Ottawa Street. And they priced everything all out for the estate, and they put it in their retail showroom and sold it for more or less retail pricing points. And some of the items were $750 items. So this week, my client asked me, he said, hey, I haven't heard anything from Holland Consignments. Can you check on what I'm supposed to do next? So I said, sure, of course, I got to go over there anyway. So I was over at Holland yesterday. And I said, hey, in this particular estate, is there a check? And she went into the computer. She said, of course, yes, there's a pretty good sized check sitting here. I said, perfect. I said, let me get them on the phone because they're going to want me to pick up the check. So we did that. I picked up the check. I have the check here right in my hand without showing you what the names on the check are or anything. I have the check right here. I've got the statement right here from Holland Consignments of the stuff that they took, and not all of it is sold yet. There's still some other stuff that hasn't yet. So if you end up consigning stuff for an estate, it can take years for items to fully sell. Keep that in mind. Depends upon how you want this whole process to go. But I ended up picking up a check for $1,743 yesterday from Holland Consignments. So, and that's half of the value of what they've sold so far, because Holland keeps 50%. So at the end of the day, they're doing a great job of selling the expensive items out of this estate, or the valuable items out of this estate. Items are selling for $45 and $16 and $150 and $2 and $8 and $36 and $12.50 and $8 and It's a whole itemized list. It's pages long of what they've sold out of the stuff that they took out of this estate. So if you're looking for retail sales points, then that's a way to be able to do it, but they're going to take 50% because they're going to have all of the power and all of the liability and all of the cost of running it out of their retail establishment on Ottawa Street. And so at the end of the day, for me calling them out, so far they've made $1,700 as well too. The estate's made $1,700. But what happened in this particular estate, which was interesting to be able to share with you as well too, I charged $20 an hour for my services to be able to clean out the estate logically. The whole goal for me is to try to keep things out of the landfill, recycle things that can be recycled, and get the house cleaned up enough to be able to get it sold. Now, I didn't have the listing here. I was simply brought in to clean out the estate. Unfortunately, I missed the listing. The listing sold for almost $1 million as well, too. The house did. So there was some pretty good things in this house. It was a blast to clean it all out. It was a lot of work, but it was a lot of fun. And my total bill for me, by the time I was all done with credits, because anytime there were items that I could get sold pretty quickly without needing to go through consignment and on and on and on, I was also left able to do that. So there were things like some just basic silver coins, some very, very basic silver things that would just be melted down at a smelter anyway. So I reached out to my client, my contacts at Toledo Coin Exchange. What are these worth? Pretty much knew what they were worth anyway, because I've got my designations and all that, but reached out for Toledo Coin Exchange to have them tell me what they would pay for them, and then I bought them out of the estate as a credit against my $20 per hour. And then I, ended up taking possession of those items for me, because I, put silver coin aside for retirement type of thing. I just stack it up whenever I can find it and buy it. And so at the end of the day, there was some credits, but the total bill for my services to get this house all consigned and cleaned out and ready to go was about $2,700 minus some credits for some stuff that I bought out of the estate that they agreed to sell for that price. And then the rest of it went to consignment, it went to auction houses, it went all over the place. And all of it was tracked. Some of it went to charity as well too. And so then at the end of the day, the auction house, all of that was just a credit as well. And then Holland consignment. So at the end of the day, what I'm trying to say is that I took care of the entire clean out of this entire estate. I took care of it all. Sent stuff to recycle, sent stuff to the dump, sent stuff out to the road, and then sent stuff to different consignment shops and different things. That's what I do. That's what the skill sets are that I have. And I charge $20 an hour for that. So by the time everything got settled up, my total bill for all of the work that I did there was about $2,700. However, here's a check for $1,700. So my total bill so far now is $1,000. And there's still more stuff at Holland Consignments that will be sold. So by the time the dust settles there, yeah, there was a fee for me to be able to come in, but they would have just put everything in the dumpster. And that would have sent everything to the landfill. It would have not been sensible at all. And so now, so far, the estate only had a $1,000 bill for me. And the estate will probably break even by the time we're all done selling all of the items out of the estate and accounting for all of it. And then the family got a full house clean out of the whole deal, and it cost them almost nothing. That's why you hire me to come in to clean out the house, is because I'm going to find ways to be able to not have to charge you, or I'm going to find items that have some value in them, so that there's no final fee for me to do all of the work that I have to do. Cleaning out an estate is not easy. It's a lot of heavy lifting. It's a lot of miles or kilometers on the vehicle as well too. It's work. It's work that a lot of people don't want to do because it is physically work. Crawling into crawl spaces and going up into attics and all of that stuff, it's all has to be done. And then getting the house cleaned up enough to be able to get it through the closing table and all of that. That's all part of the purveyance of what I do when I clean out an estate. Whether I have the listing or not doesn't matter. It all is the same thing. And I do that myself rather than bringing in contractors. I've got a Rolodex with contractors in case I need them for certain things. But most of it I do myself around my schedule. And so that's a little bit of an update on of some success. So this family is down to just about $1,000 for me to do the work that I needed to do to get the house cleaned out. And by the time the dust settles, hopefully they're breaking even off of whatever the cost was for me. One last thing to be able to share with you as well, too. If you hire a company to come in and have an estate sale at the house, then the way that they all do that and the way that I'm going to be doing it with my new website once it gets developed here, which is coming along at estatecleanoutwindsor.ca, that will also have in there the fee. Typically, if we do an estate sale at the house, that's okay. I charge the 50% of the first $1,000. So the first $1,000 of sales, 50% of that comes to me, 50% of it goes to the estate. And then it goes down to 40% for the next 1,000, 30% for the next 1,000, down, down, down. And so that's how typically everybody in this city prices out that service. That way I can pay for all of my social media to be able to advertise the estate sales and get the people in the door so that there is a very successful estate sale rather than a unattended estate sale. So we want a well-attended estate sale if we're going to do that. And I've got an auctioneer as well too that's on site or on staff with me now. I'm an auctioneer as well too. It is just what it is. It's just another thing that I actually have in my wheelhouse. So if you have any questions about how to clean out that estate from mom, dad, whatever, I don't care if it's a whole farm. There's a barn, Brian. What the heck are we supposed to do? That's going to take some time. And there's going to be some cost to get that barn cleaned out. But there's going to be some really good value in that barn as well, too. That's what barns are. They're value. For the most part, generally, there's good value in barns. So love to do that kind of work. It takes some time. I've got some staff I'm building up. That's one of the business units that I'm building up because I also want to be able to bring that farm to market for your family as well, too. Get it sold, get the content sold, get it closed, move on. So that's the business unit that I'm developing out with that seniors market as well. Lastly, another thing to be able to share with you quickly too, I'm going to be reaching out to Glenn's Moving and Storage, Little Glenn's Moving and Storage. They're going to be putting some extra trucks on the road, and Glenn and I are going to compete to be able to do some more senior moves. Glenn wants to specialize in seniors moves, and we need some competition in the city. There is a company out there right now that charges a heck of a lot of money to move mom across town. And I'm developing out a tag-on service that will be cheaper than that, far cheaper than that. And that way we can compete against that company in town and get some of that business away from them because it is pretty expensive what they charge to move mom across town. And I want the opportunity to be able to do the real estate and also to be able to do that net wealth for mom as well too. So for me, it makes some sense to be able to build out those processes and discount those processes down because I make money in other ways. But that's the next thing that's coming as well too. That's why building out the seniors program is exceptionally fun. There's a lot of different twists and turns in my mind on what I'm building out. And they will all be highlighted on that site, estatecleanoutwindsor.com or .ca, estatecleanoutwindsor.ca. Once that website is completed on, there's a lot of work to be done with that website yet. It's up there now so that Google can start finding it, but there's a lot of content that I've got to be writing. That's one of the next things I'm going to be doing. My next video will be the Windsor update as well too. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. If I can help with any estate cleanout stuff, any estate valuation stuff, if there's a divorce going on in your family and you think that Harley Davidson is only worth $3,000 and your hubby says or ex-hubby says that Harley Davidson is worth $12,000, you need an appraisal. That's one of the things that I do as a CPPA. So let me know if I can help in any way. That's what I'm here for. 519-995-6145. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye-bye.